Hello, today I'm going to review a React course. Last night I started reviewing this course. It's 9 hours. So let me take you there, and I will be trying all the codes that if they work now, because this course was made last year, and there are some changes in either Express Node or React. There must be some type of always new versions. So I'm gonna try it now. Let me take you to the course. The course is React JavaScript full course for beginners. No, this is a good course, I believe. Oh yeah, React, yes, of course. Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking about. Yeah, React.js, yes. So I already did the three lessons, and it's good. It's good. Usually I find some courses, I try them, and because I'm very new to the framework in React, I'm new to everything. So that's why I'm just reviewing codes and see if they work and see if I can learn. So this course, the link is in the description below. So what I have done last night is this. It was about events. So I got to, for example, where index? Nope. Footer, header, content. Yeah, this is okay. So I just reviewed this last night. It was more about events. So basically, this is all I had to learn. On click, and then we put this in parentheses. This can be either a variable or a function. So I don't know why they have the curly braces. I don't know what do they call them, but I can double check now online. I can check it on what are curly braces. Says in React. What is curly braces in programming? What is curly braces in React? Okay. Curly braces are special syntax in JSX. It is used to evaluate a JavaScript expression. Okay, during compilation. Okay, so this is important. JavaScript expression can be a variable, function, an object, or any code that resolves any value. Okay, so I'll copy all of that. I will need it. Curly braces are special things. It's used to evaluate JavaScript expressions during compilation. Okay, so I have my special folder where I put all my notes. And now, because last time my laptop broke, I lost all my, despite knowing that Usually we can just break our stuff, or it can be stolen at the end of the backup, because laptops are reliable. Humans are not. Okay. React. What am I looking for? React. Okay, so I can put things to study. Yeah, put in things to study. I'm gonna change this obviously later. To have in mind. Okay. Curly braces are special syntax in JS. It's used to evaluate JavaScript expression. Okay. It doesn't say too much. Where else? What else can I learn about that? When should I use curly braces? Curly braces. What? Curly braces. Yeah. Oh, I also learned ing style. So far everything is good. Excuse me. It's a little bit cold in here. So, uh, 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 okay, so right article. Okay, I'm here now. Yeah, so also, so this is a function, handle click. Okay, let me just show you all the functions that I checked last night. Here I have an array of names of strings. Over here I am getting the index, a random number between 0 and 4. So it'll go from 0 to 3. So I get the random, I multiply by 4, and that will give me the number. This mat.random gives me a number from 0 to 1. That is converted to a number like 4.99, and it will take the 4 with this floor. It will just take the integer number, and then we get a number, and then on this array we just pass that index, and yep, this will return either Bob, either Claire, either John, either Joe. This is just a method. The way we call it here is by we just type on click, and let's say we have a button. It can be in any element, I guess. So let me just run this. Localhost. Oh, it's not running. You know why? Because my server is down. Server is down. Server is down. Okay, so how do I run it? How do I run it? I have to type npm start, I guess. Oh no! Okay, let's have a look. Okay, what is the problem? What? Oh, I see, I see. Look, so I have this file over here, and then I go inside this tutorial, and I have a file. Oh, obviously this is a file. Well, unfortunately, I'm not there, so I need to get to that file. So npm, no, cd, change the directories. 01 tat. Now I am there. What I can do is just open up in a different instance of this IDE in a different VS Code. So with that code period, probably I will open in a different yes, I'll open up in a different VS Code window. I'm just opening it just because. Okay, so now I can most likely run it. I could have run it in there as well. It's just to experiment. What am I supposed to do? npm start. npm node package manager start. I have a headache. I have a headache. Okay, it's gonna take time. No worries. Yep, it's gonna take time. So yeah, it's gonna take time. Let me check. The editor could not be opened because the file was not found. What file? What file? Try again. What? The file is here. What is the problem? Right here. File. Save all. Control C. And if you guys are writing programs and you come up with these things, I know your pain. Oh. What is wrong? Oh, finally, it's about to begin. Excuse me. I think I'm ill. This reminds me of Superman. He was flying, and then this guy with the big nails comes and scratches him, and then pushes him as they were flying the Statue of Liberty. Superman goes down, almost defeated, escapes, and then he's in my situation, sitting on in his bed, just like this. Well, oh, starting server. Okay, so look, it's about to start. Yes. It takes so much time. It takes so much time. Oh, how long do we have to wait? And we used to complain about other languages like Java. That I learned that those times about applets, they were heavy. And it reminds me of this. And this is meant to be fast. Of course, I do have some. Um, not many now. I used to have so many windows open. My laptop is a very fast laptop. I have a lot of RAM. No, that shouldn't be a problem. I think it's my hard drive is trying to let's try. Oh, what is this? There are some things I need to learn. The string template or string literal. String literal or string template. What? Template literal. Let me have a look at that. Template literals or template strings. Okay. So basically template literals or template strings. Let's have a look. Yeah. Where is this? Important. Good. OSI. String template. No. This is template literals or template strings. Okay. Let's have a look. Oh, finally, it's working. So if I say, so basically I have to go right click, go to inspect, and then I'm going to console, I'm going to go to components here. Now I can see the components, header, footer, header, content, and footer. Here the header, content, footer. Oh, well, not there. Here in the app.js header, content and footer. What am I doing now? So I click here and it will say you have clicked me somewhere. I need to how can I I need to go to console, I guess. Yeah, you clicked. If I click again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I got to do the same with an anonymous function, it will say Dave was clicked, and let me show you that. I have to go to content. So in my content over here, this is the function. This function is getting us an argument. As a parameter, Dave. And I mean just a name. And then I will just console log that. This is called template literal, or string templating, or template string. And it's, yeah, we need the backticks here. And also we can just we can use the $sign here in curly braces, and so we can put any I guess any variable function or any expression. That's what I believe. I haven't checked, but it's easy to just assume. Okay, so we have the handle click 3, that is this one, and this is click it event. Okay, yeah, so it's click it. I should have put a click it. No, but before we go, let's continue with this. No, sorry, here. I'm just gonna delete all of this. Okay, so click it. I should have put so I said click it. I'm gonna put just a that exclamation mark. Click it. Click it. Oh, I'll save everything, and at least it should show that. Okay. Yeah. So the first one is with the just any normal function. The second one in this component button element, we have an anonymous function. This is an anonymous function right here. It has a name. It's just an arrow function, and we send an argument, Dave. So whenever this is clicked, on click, we send it to, on click, we send it to, yeah, right here, handle click to. This is a function, receives a name, and we just console log that name. Then we have the third option, click it. This is the event target inner text. Okay, so over here we are oops, how is it? Okay, so the event, it's just like the anonymous function, but we pass the event. It's just an event. Anything that we pass over here, parameter, event, mouse event, parameter E, react, mouse event, mouse event, mouse event. That is passed to our function, our third function. From that event we can get the target or the inner text. So over here we're just saying click it, event, target, whatever. So let me show you. Let's first print the event. The event will be, let's have a look at the event. A big, massive information feedback, or it will give us that. From this we can, from that event we can get things like the target. We can get the native event. We can get the React name on click. Let me try that. I can e dot native. No, I want the React name underscore React name, and then it should give us on click file save all. Yeah, now I will delete this. I will the event. Okay, so I have to click here, and it gives us oh, on click. Yeah, here I know what I have done wrong. I have to uncomment this, and look, it's gonna give us just on click, because the first one, the first event, it gave us the whole thing, but I was just looking for the React name, and it should give us back on click. So I'll just control save and run it again. I will just click this, and it should give us on click, only on click. That's good. But we find out everything when we just console log the object, or in this case the event. So synthetic base event. So we can have access to all of this. React, target ings, native event, target, and it will give us button. Excuse me. Oh. How can we get this? Let's check native event. Get modifiers is default, prevent is probably. Let me just put a prototype constructor. Let me just type prototype. I don't think this is going to work, because I don't know where is the root. I need to take this e dot pro to. No, it's not coming. No, it's not coming. Prototype. Prototype. I don't think it's gonna work, because undefined. Because I'll show you why. I don't know where this prototype is. So let me find out again. Click here and no. Okay, so how can I do? How can I? Okay, so I have this event. Is this opening? Is this closing? Not sure if it's opening or closing. Or maybe I just need these things. Okay, so I have target, native event, type, target instance, maybe, React main. Probably I have only. How can I get all the names only? Oh, let me get the names. Okay, so the event. How about I do this? 1, 2, 3. The spread operator, and I don't know how if it's gonna work. Okay, so I need to click here. Okay. Let me find out. Spread operator. I want to find out how to print all the properties. Either the key value. I want to print the keys of a. And yeah, this is supposed to. This is supposed to print. Okay, so I have a function here. The function will just. I think I need to. Let's say. Let me just read this. I have a number. Oh. When we invoke the function that would pass it all the values in the array using the spread syntax and the array. Oh, maybe I can just we get that and we just turn it into a string. 1 second. I'm just doing this without any. Oh no, I need. Okay, I need. Oh, just A, no. Of course, it's just an E. What am I looking for? I'm looking for how to you know. So I could iterate. Iterate object. Okay, to pass all elements of. Okay, probably this is much better. Oh, excuse me. I'm ill. I'm definitely ill. Okay, so we have pass all elements of iterable object as arguments to function my function. Okay. For array literals or strings, 4, 5, 6 combine two arrays by inserting all elements from iterable object into look. Key-value pairs. I want to show it like in Node. All we do is we send the JSON object to the browser. That's it. It just prints everything. Over here in React, I want to display that. It doesn't. It just displays in a different way. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so let me just continue. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'll just continue the tutorial. What am I supposed to do? Okay, so here. No! Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about a React hook called useState. So let's look at the content component. In the previous tutorial in this series, we learned about how to handle click events. So we see several handle click functions here, and above we have a handle name change function that we've been calling since early on in the series. And this handle name change randomly generates a name, either Bob, Kevin, or Dave, and it gives a greeting in the page. But this is done in a very vanilla JavaScript way. We just define the function here, handle name change, and then when the page loads, it's called into action down here in the JSX, and we call handle name change with the operators right here. And this is thinking in the old school vanilla JavaScript way. This is not thinking in a Reactful way at all. We need to handle the state of our component, and React actually gets its name because it reacts to changes in the state of the component. And when there are changes, then it re-renders the JSX that we find here in the return statement. I'm going to press Control-B to hide the file tree because we'll stay inside the content component for this tutorial. And back at the very top of this component now, we need to import our React hook. and that React hook is called useState. So we'll start with import, and then curly braces, and useState, and we use camel case there with state having a capital S, and from there we'll say from React. And now we can use the useState hook inside of our component. So we will start out by defining what we will use for state. And we're going to use a name, and then we're going to use set name. So this is array destructuring that we get from useState. And the first value, name, will provide the current state at any given point in time. And then set name is much like you would think. We can set the state with it. So if you really want to think about it this way, you could call name the getter and set name the setter, if you're familiar with vanilla JavaScript objects. So we'll set this equal to useState, and we put in parentheses, and now we can put data in here as default data for when the component loads, and this would be the original state or default state, and I'm just going to put in my name, Dave, to provide a name to begin with for the default state. And now that we have name, I can replace our handle name change down here in the JSX with the value of the current state for hello name. And when I save this, we should see the change. And yes, it now says hello Dave over here on the right in our application. But this will always say hello Dave right now. It is just getting the current state, the default state, and we're never setting it. So we need to change our handle name change function. And what we can do is, instead of returning the name or the random name value, we can use the set name method here from the useState, and we will pass in the value. So now handle name change will set a name as the current state. So let's go ahead and call the handle name change function now for one of the button clicks. So instead of handle click, let's put in handle name change, and we'll just use a reference here. And let's go ahead and change the text of the button to change name, and we'll save. And now when we click the change name button, we should call the handle name change function, and that should change the state. Now we might generate the same name. So after I click once, it may be Dave, or it may be Bob, or it may be Kevin. That's just how our function works. It could randomly be any one of the three. So I'll click it several times. We got Bob, we got Kevin, and back to Dave. Now it could easily do the same name 2 or 3 times in a row as it just did with Bob. And now we're back to Dave, back to Bob, back to Kevin. So the button works. It changes the state, and by setting that state change, React re-renders very quickly our content component, and we see the name change. Notice we used const here because we never want to try to reassign the name value here directly. We never want to try to directly modify the state of the component. We always want to use set name when we change that. And there are some gotchas. It's kind of learning how to think about state in the correct way. So let's look at some of these gotchas. And I'm going to define another one. Let's say count and set count. To spell count correctly there the second time. And we'll once again use state, and I'll set the initial state, or the default state if you will, to 0. Now in handle click, let's go ahead and log the value of the count. So we'll just put count there, and we'll save this much, and let's look in our JSX to see where we could call handle click, and we don't really have it being called right now, so I'll go ahead and replace handle click 2 and this anonymous function with handle click for our second button, and we'll save. Now I need to right click on the application and choose inspect to show the console window in DevTools, and we're on elements right now. There's console. Let's clear out everything so we can see what shows in the console here, and I've got my DevTools docked to the bottom instead of to the right. You can change that with the 3 dots here and dock wherever you want to. So up here, if we click this second button, it should call handle click. And when we call handle click, what should happen is the count variable, I should say the count state, will be logged to the console, the value of the current state. So let's click this second button, and we get 0, and that's what we expect, as it is the default state. Now there can be some gotchas, and you have to start thinking about state in the proper way to avoid this. So let's go ahead and add set count here to change the state, and let's set the state equal to count plus 1. Now what value would you expect to see when we log count here, which is the state? Let's go ahead and save. And we'll clear that out, and I will click the second button. We still get 0, even though we set the count to count plus 1, which is 0 plus 1. So the count should be 1, but the value of count is what was initially brought to the function. And since it was 0 when it began, it's still 0 here on the line underneath where we set the count to essentially 1. And if we even copy a second line, and you'd think, okay, now we've set it to 1, and then we're setting it to count plus 1 again, and it should be 2. That is really just not how this works. So I'll clear that and click the second button. And now it's 1 because we previously set it to 1. But it is not 2. And I should have shown you that it was 1 before, because it did change it to 1, it just didn't show it. So now it was 1 when it was brought into the function. But if we look at the value of count again, it's going to be 2, not 3. This will not add 2 to it, because this value and this value are the same. So this was 1 plus 1, and then we simply set count to 1 plus 1 again. So it's still just going to be 2. And to display that, let's go ahead and change handle click to, and we will change handle click to just simply log the current state again of count. And now we can put handle click 2 here where we were calling handle click 3. We just need the reference, and that should also allow us to get rid of handle click 3 altogether up here. And we'll save. And now, if I click this button, the third button, the current state is 2. Even though we had 2 of these here, we had clicked it once before when there was only 1. So now if I click it again, it's not going to turn into 4. It logs the state that was passed into the function, which is 2. It doesn't change the value of count within this function, even after we set the count. And now when I click the third button, it's 3, not 4. It doesn't add 2 to the count. It only adds 1, because this was 2 plus 1, and this was also 2 plus 1. So we didn't really change anything there, and it's 3. Now that can be a little hard to wrap your head around. So just remember that the value of the state, the current value of the state, comes into the function, and we do not alter that. And even though you might use the set count or whatever you use to set the state for your use state, when you log to the console or use the value of the current state after that, it will not have changed, because that's what was brought into the function. Okay, so I understand if that's a little confusing, but what I really hope you can take away from this, besides avoiding that gotcha, is that you need to use const, because you don't ever want to allow the state to be changed directly, such as name or count. We can name these whatever we want to, and the convention is to name them what you're holding, essentially describe the data, and then in the function, or the method you could say, that follows it, it usually starts with a lowercase word set, and then camel case, and has the same name that the first value has here. So name and set name. And then we can use state. And you can use state for more than one thing inside of a component. You just have to define these. And I hope you understand how we started out with the default state of Dave, and then we were able to call handle name change and set a new name as the state. And that is why clicking our change name button continues to generate different names, although it might generate the same name several times in a row, because it's just random between those 3 names. And now that you have a better understanding of state and the use state hook in React, we're going to go ahead and be able to build out more of our project in the next tutorial as we output lists to our content.
Nope. I think I'm gonna check another extra material. I'll use state React. Declare a new state. Cool count, okay. Return. Excuse me. Click. Okay, so we have the base over here. And then we will just count it. We'll use this. Okay. I'll have a break. I have a headache. I'll catch you guys in a bit. And so far this is my experiencing reviewing the code. Catch you guys later.